Welcome back to another Roblox video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the new goal award, but not just talking about it, showing you a good technique on how to get it. I bet a lot of you who have tried to do it have found it very frustrating, as it can roll the whole way back down the hill and you've lost all your progress instantly. So, this technique does require a bit of money. It requires you to own the Cybertruck, which I believe is 75,000, and it requires you to get the new suspension height called Slammed, which is the very lowest one. Now, this will make sense later why you need this. Well, you don't actually need this, but it is very helpful compared to low or normal. It's very helpful to have that super low suspension height. I have got the upgraded engine, which just makes this a bit quicker because I can, go faster. However, you don't need it. The football will usually spawn over here. Looks like someone's pushed it a little bit, so it's come over here instead. But usually it would spawn in over there. However, this doesn't make a difference to the technique I use. If it's somewhere around here, what I would suggest doing is pushing it along this road a little bit. Don't worry, this isn't going to be just push it with the Cybertruck or anything. It's way more helpful than that. So you need to push it, get it out of any situations like this. This isn't very good. There we go. Okay, there we go. Got it out of there. What we're going to do is we're going to push it along this road. If I can do at all well at this. You can see I'm not the best at this, but I don't need to use this pushing anymore because I've got my new technique. Now, what we need to do is get it roughly here on the road. So this has gone too far, but it will roll back thanks to the slope. And then we can actually use the momentum it's got right now to push it across into this area. Now, this is the area we need it in. It's sort of rolled out of there a bit, but using the player, I can push it back in. There we go, easily. The player is easier to push with, however, it doesn't have enough force to get it into a lot of spots. But we've got it in this dip now, which is very easy to keep it in. It will just stay in there, and that's very convenient. If it's in its regular spawn point or somewhere near here, I would bring it over here, but you don't need to bring it over here. Then, what you might have already worked out we're going to do is we're going to reverse in and use some momentum of it rolling down, which can be a bit difficult to do. Like that. There we go. To get it on top of our Cybertruck. Now, the reason why the slammed suspension is very useful is it makes it a lot easier to get it on the back as your vehicle's lower down. You don't have to get it up as high to get it on the back. Then what you need to do is drive it out of this area. Now, mind the sign. The sign can knock it off, and you want to turn to the right like this so that you can then reverse it onto the road. Now, the reason we reverse it onto the road and not drive forward is there's a lot less support at the back. So if we drive forward, the force from accelerating will make it fall off the back. Also, if you go up a slope, it will make it fall off the back. However, nearer the front, there's a lot more support. Looks like this player might mess things up, but nope, managed to keep it on. And then we just drive backwards, and we can drive it the whole way up the hill to the goal. I reverse it the whole way because of extra control and the ability to keep it on a bit better. However, it's not just this simple. You do need to watch out for some things, like that. I did that on purpose, just to show you. You cannot let it hit any traffic lights or things like that, because although a vehicle can knock them over and a player can just run through them, they will collide with the football or soccer ball, whatever you want to call it. So now we've got it in the city and it's fallen off our Cybertruck. You just need to find a corner or some point where there's a wall and then like a lamppost or something. So you just need something that can support it and you can push it against without it shooting off to the side or just rolling backwards. So this bit here looks quite good. Let me just get it in here. So it also needs to be able to stay there while you move your Cybertruck, otherwise it's quite difficult. Now we can turn our Cybertruck around. We do need to make sure we don't hit that post and wipe it out, otherwise it's just going to roll away. But we have now picked it up very easily and can continue. So this time I'm going to make sure I don't hit the traffic lights and continue my journey. Now, if you're starting right from the beginning, I wouldn't go forward and then come past the jewelry store that way, because the traffic lights that side are a lot worse. Definitely don't go past the bank, because the traffic lights there are really awful. I mean, you can if you need to, but I wouldn't take a route that includes that if possible, because it's really, really bad. They're very close together. You have to do very tight turns and keep moving about to get past them. It's really awkward. However, along this road, because it's wider... thank you, player. That was very helpful of you. You're going to get arrested now. Because of the wider road, the traffic lights are further apart and the gaps are bigger. We have to find some spot to do it again now. The most useful situation for this technique is when you actually get to the hill, because if you make a slight mistake, like, you can't really make a slight mistake and then have it roll the whole way back down the hill. We can come and use the Cybertruck to pick it up again. Once you get the hang of this, it's definitely the best and easiest way to get this award. Before, I found the military helicopter was the best option because of the small wings it had on the side. They were good for pushing it forward and then using the nose to keep it against the edge as you go up the hill. However, that's nowhere close to this in like ease of doing it. This is just so superior. Oh, that player almost messed things up. Now, I don't actually need to do this myself. I've already done it like 10 times practicing and seeing the best ways to do it and the best spots to do it. We've got one of those lag spikes. That's... You do just have to hope you don't get one of those. There's nothing you can really do about that. They're really annoying in Jailbreak at the moment. They never used to be a thing. I never used to get them, at least. But now I do, and it's quite frustrating to just have a giant lag spike suddenly. Yeah, let's get it in here. There we go. And let's see. And it's back on. Okay, I thought I was going to have a big issue getting it back on while part way up the hill, but yeah, it doesn't take much to find a spot that you can easily get it back on. The hardest part is getting in that spot and keeping it in that spot while you get your Cybertruck to reverse into it. That can be a bit difficult, but in that situation there, that was quite easy. And now we're up the top of the hill, and you don't even need to get it off your Cybertruck. You can just simply reverse your Cybertruck into here, and there we go. And everyone's got the like XP1 rim. I don't actually know what that is. I don't actually know what that looks like. I haven't looked at it yet. And we've got someone trying to kill us now. And they've managed. But they will now die. Well, maybe not die, maybe be arrested. Get out my way, you stupid police officer. How are they able to push my vehicle, like, constantly? There's no resistance from mine. There we go. Told you were getting arrested. And we can take back... Let's get a key card as a police. There we go. So I believe the new slammed suspension height costs 5,000. So the total to buy this setup that I'm using, if you don't include the engine, is 80,000. The engine makes it quicker, but it's not necessary. Okay. Yeah, quite neat. But in Jailbreak, they're all that's inside the wheel. Doesn't look like it would support your car, especially with the sort of thing Jailbreak players do, like smash into a wall. But yeah, look pretty nice. I know the main thing in this update is the like crew combat thing, but I haven't really understood it yet, so I don't want to cover that quite yet. These giant lag spikes. What even is this? Like, Jailbreak has just got really awful with lag. Like, you suddenly get giant lag spikes, like, and your vehicle just starts jumping around. There's nothing you can really do to stop that ruining the soccer ball, football thing. This is where it usually spawns, and if it's here and it's in its normal spot, it might be worth just trying to see if you can like push it back into that wall over there and do it there. It's quite hard to do it here if you don't get it like straight away, as there's a slope here and it's very hard to push it up the slope and keep it there to then reverse and get it. So if you fail on that bit, I would just take it over to that other spot. However, it's probably worth attempting that, just see if it works. Like, it probably won't, but the first time I tried that, it did actually work, so I was quite lucky. I can do it again quite easily. I've done it like 10 times now. It's really quite simple, and with a bit of practice you can do it in a minute or so. You do have to hope you don't get those lag spikes or a player doesn't come and attack you. If a player comes and kills you, at least with this it will probably stay on your Cybertruck and then you can come back. You can continue from where you left off. It's not all over and the whole thing hasn't like been messed up. It doesn't roll the whole way back to the start. But yeah, I think that's gonna have to end today's video with the item I have obtained. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. Bye. That wasn't at all planned.